At some point, you're gonna have to send a corrected claim. It could be your fault, the front desk fault, the coder's fault, the provider's fault, whomever. It doesn't really matter at this time, but you're gonna have to know how to fill a corrected claim because you are the biller. So you need to know how to get that claim paid, even though there was a error on somebody's part. Today's video, I'm going to go through all of that information, what a corrected claim is, how to send it, all of those things. Keep watching. So what is a corrected claim? A corrected claim is a claim that you have sent out. That's the key point, is that it has been sent out to the payer. And now you have figured out that something is wrong and you need to correct that something on the claim. But since you've already sent it out, you have to do certain things in order to correct your error. So that is what a corrected claim is. It is one that has something on it that you need to fix or correct, but you have already sent it out to the payers, so you need to correct it on the payer side as well. Why are some reasons that you would need to send out a corrected claim? So just as an example, there are several reasons why you would need to send out a corrected claim, but some reasons could be that you put the wrong date of service, that you did not put a modifier, or you put a modifier that you wasn't supposed to. Maybe you put the wrong amount as far as how much the fee schedule is on for that particular procedure. You may have put the wrong units or the wrong provider. There can be many things that you have done why you need to send out a corrected claim. Also want to throw in there that you may have gone through this whole claim form, looked it over, thought that everything was correct, but then when you send it to the payer, they say that something is not correct. Something is wrong. Maybe you're missing a modifier that you should have put, but you didn't put. And so you are allowed to then correct that claim after you've done your research, fixed it up, made sure it's right, to send it back out to the payer. There's a difference between a corrected claim and an appeal claim, and I guess I'll have to go through an appeal claim at some point. But a corrected claim, in my experience, is simpler. It does not require all the things that an appeal may require. So if you need to do a corrected claim, make sure that you do, and don't be intimidated by having to correct some errors that you may have on your part. So how do you submit a corrected claim? Now, this is going to be a general overview of how you would submit a corrected claim. Always remember in billing that there is no set one way of how to do something. There may be the general way, the more accepted way of doing something, but some payers may require things to be done differently. So here are my 4 steps to give you on how to correct the claim. The first step is to figure out what you need to fix and fix it. So if you send out a claim to a payer, and let's say either the payer sends you back some type of correspondence, or you yourself figure out, oh shoot, something is wrong with this claim and I need to fix it. And then you send back out a claim, but you don't fix the claim. You don't change anything. It's the exact same claim that you sent out before, and the payer receives that again, then that is considered a duplicate claim. Now, there are some times when you send out a corrected claim and you have changed something on that claim, but for some reason, whoever is entering that claim in, or the system of the computer that the payer is using, does not pick up on that correction, then they may still put it as a duplicate claim, even though you have made some correction. So you need to check that out and make sure that that was not done. But the first thing you need to do is find what the correction is, correct it, and then resend it out. When you resubmit the claim, this is number 2, you're going to put a 7 in box 22. The 7 says to the payer that you are correcting this claim. There's also a section next to that box, this is in the same box 22, and it wants you to put the original claim number. So most of the time when you submit a corrected claim, you will have an original claim, and you need to put that original claim's number so that they can reference which claim you're talking about that you need to be corrected. Fourth, and this is optional, you can put corrected claim in box 19, or you can put corrected claim on top of the HCFA form if you're sending a paper claim, or you can even highlight the area that you had corrected just to make sure that the payer knows these are the areas that I've corrected. Now, of course, the highlighting portion and the putting corrected on the top of the claim form would be if you are sending out a paper claim. But if you're doing it electronically, you could put corrected in box 19, and that could just help the payer know that this is a corrected claim. Again, that doesn't always mean that they're going to process it like that. Whether they're processing them automatically or manually, somebody or something, the computer, might miss it, and you can just put it to make sure that they know that this is a corrected claim. So those are the general rules that you would need to follow to correct a claim. It can be pretty simple if you know what those rules are, and for the most part, if you follow those rules, you will get your claim corrected and things will be fine. But there are some payers who have payer-specific rules that you need to follow when it comes to correcting claims. Now, some payers do not accept electronic corrections of claims. The bigger payers, Cigna, United Healthcare, Blue Cross, whoever's the bigger payers in your area, may most likely accept corrected claims electronically. But the smaller payers may not. So you may have to correct the claim through paper. So again, that's maybe a payer-specific rule. Then we're going to talk about Medicare, because if you've dealt with Medicare in any way, shape, or form, then you will know that Medicare is a special payer in itself. So as far as Medicare is concerned, Medicare accepts corrected claims in 3 different ways. The first way is through the IVR, which is the interactive voice response system. You can call up, go through the whole, rigmarole, and correct your claim through that way, or at least submit the correction of the claim through that way. Then you can go through the portal, which is the spot portal, and you can send your correction that way. Now, through these different avenues, you may not be able to send certain corrections. So I know through the spot portal, you can send, corrections like if you had to add a modifier or change I think a CPT code, or, there are certain things that you can change and certain things that you can't change. It just depends on what it is that you need to correct, how you are going to correct them. And the third way to send a corrected claim through Medicare is through the reopening gateway. Now, through the reopening gateway, I don't think you need to actually have an account like you would need to have if you are doing it through Spot, but you can send the claim that way. But basically, they don't want it by paper, they don't want it by email, they don't want it by fax. And so you have to follow these ways in order to get your claim corrected. Now, again, there is another term that they use. They don't use corrected claims. I think they use reopening and adjustments. So I think a reopening is when the claim has been past your timely filing limit and you need to reopen up that claim. And then the adjustment is basically like a corrected claim within the timely filing limit. So Medicare has their own special rules, like I said, and so that is specifically a payer-specific guideline for Medicare. Now, for some payers, such as Cigna, I have sent corrected claims through fax, and they didn't mind me doing that. So it just, again, all depends on the payer and what they want you to do and how they want you to do it. And here's another point. You want to make sure that claims are actually received by the payer before you send in a corrected claim. I usually do it this way because I find it to be difficult when you don't do it in this manner. So for example, I send in a claim and the claim wasn't processed yet, but I realized that maybe I didn't put a modifier on that claim. So I just automatically send another claim without waiting for that first claim to be processed. Most likely that claim is going to be considered a duplicate, or it's going to process as a whole nother claim. It's going to have two claims with the same data service and probably the same procedure code, whatever, but the only thing that's changed is that I needed to put a modifier. Now, if you've been in billing for any time, you might say that they're not going to process the data service or the procedures code twice for, the same patient with that same exact service. But I have found that they have done that, not very, very often, but they have done that a few times. And that could probably be because, maybe it's a manual procedure and they did not realize that this claim was paid already for this data service for the same provider, and so they pay the two of them. Now, eventually they might ask for a refund back when they realize the error that they made, but to avoid all of that, I usually just wait until the payer has processed the claim. I do that so that I can then get the claim number off of the ERA or the RA in order to put on my new claim. Now, I don't have to wait specifically to get the actual, let's say I was getting the ERA by paper or the RA by paper. I don't even really have to wait for that. I could actually, let's say, call if I haven't gotten that, so that I can just get the claim number, so then I can be able to send out that new claim that needs to be corrected. So basically, just wait until you get a claim number, whether you get it physically or you call to get the claim number, in order to send out the new claim so that things won't get mixed up and go crazy when it comes to trying to get your corrected claim paid. Some claims cannot be corrected at all, and I found that to be more for Medicare. So Medicare will tell you on their remittance advice that this claim cannot be appealed or corrected or whatever, and that you need to send out a whole new claim. So you would not put the original claim number on that claim for this instance, because they don't want to even deal with that claim anymore. They dealt with the claim, they said it's not processable, so you just need to send out a whole new claim that will get a whole new claim number. So if you like this video, then you'll love this video where I go through all the claim statuses. See you in my next video.